All right, folks, we have watched that insemination in space. So we have a clock setting, and the 52-year marker is before us as far as that moon mission and the spirits of Apollo with that Abaddon and the Revelation 9:11 that's mentioned, and that spirit of Apollo is upon you, and the parrots are stuck in a cage. Okay, so that parrot is all around you as far as your dietitians or your pastor or your doctor or your therapist or whatever, okay? But they're all quacks, and we're gonna bring that Donald Duck duck hunt session to the platform as we got that serpent witch rising for that NES switch, and we got that blue, we got that red controller that separate, we got that black screen in the middle that keeps it all together, and they're just gonna go to that compass and just separate. So we watched the insemination in space that I showed you on the Artemis 2 mission, and now it came down. You have that pecker and ball shaped storm going from Dallas up to Milwaukee and Ohio and all those other things, right? So as all these things are taking place, we're watching overlays forward and backward as we're like in a middle time frame, and then we are in a 2-week period spot that we've been told. So this is where they had the like Big Bang session in space, right? And then that was, we're watching this backwards. So this is where you got Big Bang sessions coming with your storms and those things for your spring and Bruce Springsteen, so to speak. And then that's also the Hebrews Lee and the dragon and all that stuff that's lining up for your Epstein session and whatever else. But the period and the woman, this would be where you're in between cycles, and the period's expected in 2 weeks, right? But you start to notice some types of fluctuations and differences and whatever else, okay? And then the boobies will start to become bigger, or you'll feel it in those a lot of times first. The Asian woman that we used to go to on our second child, she, my wife got pregnant with her. My wife didn't know at the moment, but we went in for an adjustment. She felt her toes or whatever. She said, "Are you pregnant?" Either way, ended up being pregnant. So there's different ways that the body changes, okay? So as this body changes, that's where you start seeing these little things in the next 2-week period, okay? And then that period comes, and it might be late, and then you go to the doctor. That doctor is there, that port, and the subs, and the sub sandwich, and all those kinds of things have been put together in different ways. The sub, the bus, the pusa, all those things, okay? Because it looks like the charges on your CC Rider, the credit card. Charlie Kirk is connected to the T-Pusa, connecting to the Epstein, and connecting to some things on some other levels. And then we also have the Michael J. Fox. Well, those are MJs that connect on different ways, but and then the Fox is a 666 it tunnels under, and we're tunneling under now, and that's where the bull ring tunneling under and all that shit is going with the Elon Musk and all that shit that we've been showing. But either way, there's multiple levels. So as with a woman and tracking a period and as giving birth and all those things, this is beware. If you've been following for sure, you should be able to see these things more and more as that spiritual into the carnal and carnal into the spiritual, and that incarnation of Christ for your Petro and your Christos and those things as the yellow gold fluid and all that is taken over your body, and now that's what controls you, and the underworld has risen, and now the underworld is rising on the subsurface level. Y'all are basically the demons coming out of the dark from the abyss, and as you're taken out of the abyss, you're taken into the abyss, and that's where the cannabis and the hemp and all those things are loading up in different ways. And that Abbott is the app pot on the mirror, so that's where you're more likely you're going to get that vortex where Oregon's producing this much weed, but you can't grow weed outdoors for the most part in Texas because it's a subtropical thing and it's always in flower mode for the most part, but you just get like a shit crop. But either way, that's where you can get the vortex going, and then you start getting your weed from, I get my weed from Cali, or whatever Bieber fucking sings, okay? That's where all these things can work in, and then you start working in that blockchain thing, and okay, so it's pretty simple, right? And then you got the emerald triangle up here that's being shined up for that ring bearing situation, and you got the ring that's gonna pop off for the ring of fire, and then the emerald triangle. All those things. The emerald ties into your land of Oz, and that's where your Seattle and COVID and King Spirit and the 85 so-called in 2020 and all that shit we put together way back when. But either way, folks, if you're just finding this channel, you are way behind. So it's either slaughter or laughters, and we choose the laughters there. Period and the doctor situation 2 weeks late, okay? It's where we can all see these things playing out as you saw that insemination and the moon landing, and then all the CGI fake bullshit with the moon, okay? When Hollywood, Walt Disney, Universal Studios, all these things, NASA, moon landing, and the image has been given life to create the male and female after he, them, and he's created the devil's music as the serpent seed, the Who, the Social Security, Super Sports, all this shit has all been created, and your nuts are just all being grabbed when you're 13, 14. Cough for me. Well, that hack attack is coming.